Okay, all right.
What can you tell us about this incident, this sexual assault in the parking lot of Catholic Charities Monday night?
The only thing I can tell you at this point is we responded to Catholic Charities regarding a sexual assault. When officers arrived, they made contact with a female victim that stated she had been sexually assaulted. She was able to provide a description of the suspect. Officers later observed an individual matching this description. They detained him and transported him to headquarters. Subsequently, he was later identified and he was arrested for sexual battery. Okay, now I can't elaborate on exactly where this incident occurred. The only thing I can say it occurred somewhere near Catholic Charities at 200 North Congress Street. That's where we responded.
No, but your press release says in the parking lot.
Well, I'm sorry, a parking lot near that location. Now, I'm not saying that that's where we responded, not necessarily saying that it occurred in the parking lot at Catholic Charities, okay? I haven't personally been down there. The only thing I can say is we responded to that location and that a sexual assault occurred in a parking lot there. Now, I haven't personally seen it, but that's where we responded to.
And what do we know about the suspect so far?
The information that we released is Mitchell Drake. He's 45 years of age. He was identified as a suspect. I'm not sure what ties he has to this particular area. I can say that he has a Jackson address. So again, it's still under investigation, but he's been identified as a suspect. We don't believe that there are any other suspects, nor do we have any evidence that anyone else may have been involved in this incident as well. It seems to be an isolated incident targeted towards this particular victim by this suspect, and we don't have any other reports of anyone else reporting him as a suspect.
So he heard something about he might have been a homeless person living maybe in the park across the street.
I can't elaborate on that right now. I can't confirm whether he was a homeless individual or not. I can say that he has a Jackson address. Again, I don't know what his ties are to this particular area. It's still under investigation at this point. You know, it's too early to tell if he is homeless, was homeless, or what. But again, he's been identified. He was arrested. He was charged with sexual battery.
Any priors?
He doesn't have any prior arrests with us. I haven't looked at his full criminal history, but this is his first arrest by the Jackson Police Department.
Now, did anyone witness this? Who called police? Was she the one that called police, or did someone help her out and maybe get this man off of her?
Well, let's not go too much into the investigation as it relates to who called the police. The only thing that we can say is we were called, and this lady stated she had been assaulted. Mm-hmm. Again, that's the only thing that we can say at this particular point.
Was she helped out by a passerby?
I can't advise. I don't know.
Has he made any comments? Has he confessed or made any?
Let's not go into any statements that he made, because of course that is part of the investigation that is still ongoing at this time. The only thing I can say is he was identified, he was arrested, and we believe and we're positive that he is a suspect in this incident.
Now you say he's charged with sexual battery.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like for lack of a better word, a lower level sexual offense. So what exactly was this alleged offense?
I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to say exactly what occurred. The only thing that we can say is that sexual assault occurred. Subsequently, he was charged with sexual battery. He was charged with sexual battery based on the offense that took place. That is the statute that matches the particular incident that occurred.
For people who don't know, can you tell us the difference between a sexual assault and a sexual battery?
Well, sexual assault is the way that it is reported, okay? When you go into the statutes and the law, sexual battery is what the charge is. You have rape, you have sexual battery. Sexual assault is not necessarily a charge. Something is reported as a sexual assault, but once you charge someone with a particular crime, you charge them with sexual battery, you charge them with rape. Whatever charge matches the description of whatever transpired.
Now, we know this suspect is off the street and that this is an isolated incident, but just for the people who maybe are reminded that they need to watch their backs, what advice do you give people who might be walking alone in the metro area?
Well, you know, I don't want to go too much into that, because I don't want to. What I'm trying to say is this victim, I don't want to make her relive this situation or make her second guess herself as it relates to anything that may have transpired with her. Of course, we advise people all the time, watch your back, watch your surroundings for any type of suspicious activity or behavior. And I'm not going to elaborate much on that because I don't want her to second guess if it's anything that she may have done or may not have done to make this occur.
Was the victim getting out of her car, getting into her car?
There was a car involved, I can tell you that. I'm not necessarily sure she was getting in or out of the vehicle, but at some particular point, she was nearby a vehicle when the incident occurred.
Who patrols that area? Is that JPD or is that Capitol Police or is that the sheriff?
That's Jackson Police Department. It falls under our jurisdiction.
And what precinct does that fall in?
Precinct 2.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
Anything else you want to tell us?
That's all I have right now.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
So for those of you who are just tuning in, that was Commander Tyree Jones talking to us about a sexual assault that occurred at Catholic Charities in the parking lot early Monday or late Monday afternoon. What we understand at this point is just that the victim was probably going to her car. The suspect, they believe, was specifically targeting this woman. He is off the streets. He has been arrested. We had heard that he might be homeless. Commander Jones could not confirm that at this point. And really, there's not a lot of information out there just because of the sensitive nature of this situation. So we've got a story up at clarionledger.com if you want to go check that out. And basically, if we hear anything else, we'll let you know. So from Jackson Police Department for the Clarion Ledger, I'm Therese Apel. I think.